Now we come to the second performance by John, Mark, Ben, Dave and Martin. Let's welcome John Clachan from
You saw the ice melting, the flood levels rising, the warnings grew louder and clear. The homeless are suffering, all raising their voices as one, but you didn't hear. Plain facts stared you in the face, the whole human race wrung their hands. No choice, with their homes in the sea, ever more refugees of the land. And you knew, but did nothing. You can't even say that you can. You knew, but did nothing. How did you think you'd be spared? When you knew. The world became warmer, the deserts grew larger, the corals died out from the sea. The hurricane season grew longer and stronger, but you were immune to the plea. Ivory towers, you held all the power, the answers were there in your hands. Back turned, while the forests are burned, changing climate midway to the land. And you knew, but did nothing. You can't even say that you can. You knew, and did nothing. How did you think you'd be spared? When you plain facts stared you in the face, the whole human race wrung their hands. No choice, with their homes in the sea, ever more refugees of the land. And you knew, but did nothing. Can't even say that you can. You knew and did nothing. How did you think you'd be spared? When you knew.
Thank you very much.
There's a bright star burning in the evening sky that's never been seen before. There's a small boy watching with a wondering eye, and it thrills him to the core. He knows the planets and the stars by name, and this nova stirs his soul. And the world grew bigger for Johannes Kepler a long, long time ago. And the world grew bigger for Johannes Kepler a long, long time ago. A precocious, sickly, genius child of the 16th century, with wandering parents seldom hung from an ill-bred family. So he buries himself in maths and figures and with orbits around the sun. And the world grows bigger for Johannes Kepler, his life's work has begun. And the world grows bigger for Johannes how his life's work has begun. As word of his genius spreads afar, he meets with Tycho Brahe, the master astronomer of the age, who offers him work and pay. So in Tycho's figures, precise and true, his brain is set afire, and the world grows bigger for young Kepler. He has his heart's desire, and the world grows bigger for young Kepler. He has his heart's desire. If Tycho's figures are clear and true, they undermine ancient lore, and planets don't orbit in perfect circles, a fact he can't ignore. So he throws out theories that have long been held, and discovers the brand new maths, and the world grows bigger for Johann Kepler. The answers come at last. The world grows bigger for Johann Kepler. The answers come at last. With a master stroke, he cuts old bonds and ushers in the modern age. He defies old dogma and proves the truth. Science turns a banded range. And it may seem a small, insignificant fact that he had at his fingertips, but the world grew bigger for Johann Kepler when the circle turned ellipse. And the world grew bigger for Johann Kepler when the circle turned ellipse. Have you seen the comic postcards? They're in the spinning racks in every seaside town. Just a little slice of England, double entendre surely make your mother frown. They brighten up their shop fronts next to the crabbing lines and the buckets and spades. Folks stop by to read them when they take their evening stroll along the promenade. And if they're in poor taste, we don't care. Cartoon figures in their underwear, words in bubbles readable. Take it out time at the comic postcard store. There's a zany cast of characters, from an overbearing matron to a sailor jack, and a red-faced country farmer who finds a courting couple in his big haystack. There's the outsized English housewife with a weedy henpecked husband always at her side, and a colonel sipping his deck chair who's just about to get caught by the coming tide. And if they're in poor taste, they don't care. Cartoon figures in their underwear, words in bubbles readable. Take it out time at the comic postcard store. in poor taste, we don't care. Hearts and figures in their underwear. Words in bubbles, we read them all. Taking our time at the comic postcard store. You can find all kinds of postcards with the crowd scenes on the beach, wishing you were here. Local views and attractions, like the pub next door you saw put too much beer. Cards of your caravan campsite, the ones you end up buying as a last resort. But I'd rather buy a comic postcard, and I hope that you'll agree, 'cause they're the ones I bought. And if they're in poor taste, we don't care. Cartoon figures in their underwear. Words in bubbles, we read them all. Taking our time at the comic postcard store last time. If they're in poor taste, we don't care. Cartoon figures in their underwear. Words in bubbles, we read them all. Taking our time at the comic postcard store. In the dark of night I lie upon my bed. Songs and music running through my head. That old English music coursing through my blood overwhelms my soul like Noah's flood. How we built a boat to sail upon those waters and loaded all our souls into the hold. English music, England's gold. English music, England's gold. If you think about our forebears and their songs, word of mouth was how they passed their music on. Down generations carried through the years, they told their tales of hope, love and tears. Now in pubs and bars while drinking ale and porter, you'll hear us try to keep those stories told. English music, England's gold. English music, England's gold. Today our music often goes ignored. Once our lifeblood, can it be restored? While other nations sing their songs with pride, why does England see her songs denied? If we could sing to every son and daughter, we'd bring our legacy in from the cold. English music, England's gold. English music, England's gold. Oh, you say they have no relevance today. That way of life has all been blown away. But if we started learning from the past, then England's future might be glorious at last. There's a bond that's just as strong as bricks and mortar. Our heritage is there for young and old. English music, England's gold. English music, England's gold. I'll see the story told on a very fateful night, through winter's chill and cold and the skinny light. We're filtered through the Squire, some poaching had been planned. He vowed he'd see no game was ever taken from his land. He cautioned all his keepers to keep a solemn watch, not knowing all the hip flags filled to the brim with scotch. A twig was snapped and in a daze the keeper fired his gun. They crashing through the undergrowth, they saw the poachers run. Run the lads, pick up the hill, they hope Godspeed to them, or transported out of England, sure to be our end. The Squire shouted after them, they've the rabbits on their back. I'll see you never work again, should anyone be lax. So all of one accord they race, no longer taking care, not knowing what was left behind the poacher's faithful snare. Run the lads, pick up the hill, oh Godspeed to land, or transported out of England, sure to be our end. Run the lads, pick up your heels, we hope Godspeed to land, or transported out of England, sure to be our end. We'll catch 'em by the river, the Squire with delight. I'll send them to Australia for their dark deeds tonight. But in his rage and fury, he never watched the ground. His roars returned to anguish, the snare his leg had found. The poachers made a great escape, don't keep a sword and go. The Squire was carried to the court, his face was white as snow. And the lord of old his vast estate was ne'er the same again. And the breed had made him a lame, it cost 4 rabbits and 1 man. From the lads, pick up the heel, and hope Godspeed to land, and transported out of England, is sure to be our end. And again, from the lads, pick up the heel, we hope Godspeed to land, or transported out of England, is sure to be our end.
Thank you.
From a glowing ember to a tiny spark, from a smoke-filled room in the midnight dark, came a frightened call, hark, fire, hark. And no one knew there'd be a burning down that night. And no one knew there'd be a burning down that night. From a baker's shop in Pudding Lane, through a tar-pitched roof shot a burning flame. They never found out just who to blame. There were none prepared for the burning down that night. There were none prepared for the burning down that night. All the sparks did crackle, the fire did roar. No hiding place for the rich or poor. Not a hovel or a mansion the flames ignore. In the burning down that night, in the burning down that night. Now the city of London had men in power. They didn't act fast in the burning hour, as the flames took hold, such a dithering shower sealed the city's fate, while the burning down that night sealed the city's fate, for the burning down that night. People ran to the Thames where boats were docked, but their nightwear flowing, no shoes or socks. Every home catching fire like a tinderbox. No belongings saved from the burning down that night. No belongings saved from the burning down that night. All the sparks did crackle, the fire did roar. No hiding place for the rich or poor. Not a hovel or a mansion will the flames ignore. In the burning down that night, the burning down that night. Now the church bells rang out a warning peal, but the gods couldn't save them from the fires ordeal. St. Paul's called a light to the laughs of the devil, who fanned the flames of the burning down that night. Who fanned the flames of the burning down that night. 5 days and nights the fire would blaze, no rule of law in the smoke and haze. Then the king's own men did some buildings raise, and the fire breaks up the burning down that night. And the fire breaks up the burning down that night. All the sparks did crackle, the fire did roar. No hiding place for the rich or poor. Not a hovel or a mansion will the flames ignore. In the burning down that night, in the burning down that night. There was 70,000 homeless made, so they rebuilt London through the next decade. For a new St. Paul's, Wren's plans were laid, and a phoenix rose from the burning down that night. and a phoenix rose from the burning down that night. October crooked at the gallows pole, crowd took their positions. There were porters, tinkers, tradesmen, old doctors and physicians. A host that followed the convict cart, they chanted, cheered and sang. But silence fell as if from hell up stepped the hanging man. Oh, make way for the hanging man, the star of the occasion. He's a master of macabre. If you're of that persuasion, don't think the crowd has sympathy, but the convict understand. Cheers and adulation all for the hanging man. Dressed in black with a leather hood, he holds the crowd in awe. Then he takes a knotted rope in hand and throws them all some more. Hangman likes to please the crowd, each has his own technique. So if spectators heckle, he might give the rope a tweak. They've made a pretty fortune since swinging first began. It's quite the first goal fills the purse of every hanging man. You'd think an execution was not for the faint-hearted, but parents bring their children to speed the soon departed. Today the stars of cinema are merely also rans. In times gone by they deified the illustrious hanging man. Some felons offer money for the trapdoor falls, but he just whispers in their ear, I'm sorry, duty calls. It's strange that many hangmen who work with such decorum kill far more victims with their own than those who stood before them. Public hangings as a warning were really just a sham. Folks made their way on gallows day to see the hanging man. By Tyburn Brook at the gallows pole, the crowd took their positions. There were porters, tinkers, tradesmen, all doctors and physicians. A host that followed the convict cart, they chanted, cheered and sang. But silence fell as if from hell up stepped the hanging man. There's a knock on the door, I'm finished with tea, and I'm out on the streets with my mates. And though we don't wander far from our gates, with a piece of old chalk we draw out some squares, pick up a few rolling stones, and it's hopscotch outside of our homes, games in the street, and that's all we knew. No, I never felt we were deprived. Tink and Tommy and lolly sticks too. We were having the time of our lives. We were having the time of our lives. Conkers in autumn collected with care, soaked in vinegar, a seasonal thing. Then skewered and strung up with string. I remember a champion cheeser more, left all the conkers for dead. I slept with each night in bed, games in the street, and that's all we knew. No, I never felt we were deprived. Tink had Tommy and the lolly sticks too. We were having the time of our lives. having the time of our lives. Lordy, up comes the call as the marbles appear. He scratches some more hole in the ground. Many other kids soon gather round, with oners and twos and threes and fours, those colourful pieces of glass. We watch them all fly through the grass, games in the street, and that's all we knew. No one ever felt we were deprived. Tink and Tommy had lolly sticks too. We were having the time of our lives. We were having the time of our lives. Jack stones you could catch on the back of your hand. We're just bored up with something more rough, till Dad shouts enough is enough. But how the times change, those days are long gone. Kids today keep their hands clean, for their eyes are now glued to a screen. Games in the street, that's all we knew. No one ever felt we were deprived. Tink and Tommy had the lolly sticks too. We were having the time of our lives. We were having the time of our lives. I am a roving sporting blade, and they call me Jack of all trades. Always take a sweet delight in the courting pretty fair maid. So into London I arrive, seek a situation. I always heard them say it was the pride of the nation. I'm a roving Jack of many's a trade, every trade and all trades. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. To London dock I made my way, and there became a porter. Me and my master soon fell out, of which I got acquainted shorter. In Pudding Lane a pastry cook, and later on a baker. In Cable Street the coffins make to come in useful later. I'm a roving Jack of many's a trade, and every trade and no trade. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. At Billingsgate I sold fresh fish in Harley Street a quack. In the East End I cleaned chimneys out, which left me feeling black. At Spitalfields I sold fresh fruit, at least that made me healthy. Down in the Strand I dig up birds, which made me much more wealthy. I'm a roving Jack of many's a trade, every trade and all trade. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. All around King's Cross I rode a cab mile and a coffee grinder. In Leicester Square I lost my wife, thank God I couldn't find her. At Speaker's Corner I to preach, and elected to Westminster. And in the West End I did make foot servant to a spinster. I'm a roving Jack of many's a trade, and every trade and all trades. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. Every trade and all trade. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. In Villiers Street I sang my songs, Savile Row Taylor. Peter I wasn't long, then on the Thames a sailor. In Soho I cooked Eastern food. Delight of all the street mate. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. I'm a roving Jack that is a trade, free trade and all trade. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades. A roving Jack that is a trade, free trade and all trade. If you wish to know my name, they call me Jack of all trades.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The ship sailed out from Portsmouth, then around the Isle of Wight. In the English Channel it found the breeze in the early morning light. And with every sail on every mast set tight as they could draw, the last of the clippers sailed out to sea. On a trip she'd make no more. If you close your eyes you might dream of the light wings blowing free. But the last of the clippers on the water green no longer sails the sea. Through Biscay Bay and around the Cape, these ships were built for speed. Then across the Indian Ocean, ropes tied on their fair lead. To bring home tea from China, they fought through many trials. For 100 days they clipped the waves, that's 14,000 miles. If you close your eyes, you might dream of the white wings blowing free. But the last of the clippers on the water green no longer sail the sea. When the Suez finally opened in 1869, the steamships cut the journey times and the clippers in decline. But many a gallant captain kept sailing just the same, till the clippers were scuppered one by one and they were left with just a name. If you close your eyes, you might dream of the white wings blowing free. But the last of the clippers on the water green no longer sails the sea. If you close your eyes, you might dream of the white wings blowing free. But the last of the clippers on the water green no longer sails the sea.